Hey, this is Gene. I want to talk today about the mythical war and women. Women, the war and on women. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I was going to put things down on paper and kind of go off a script, but it's hard for me to read and talk at the same time. And it really, I've always known about it, that it was basically just another thing to get people to divide us, and also allow to get liberals in office, saying that somehow they're the people that care about women, because they're the ones that put money into stuff like the violence of women's act and all that stuff. But it really came to the front light today, or this weekend, last week or so, when at the UN, Anita Scarcesian and Zoe Quinn started basically they, in their own spin of trying to make a determination of what is really harassment or cyber crimes or cyber harassment. Basically, if you tell somebody that's online, if you watch her videos and you don't like what she has to say, and if you might say that you're a liar or your videos suck, that she thinks that should be termed as cyber violence, and they think that it equates to actually physically hurting somebody. And this is just another way that the feminists have populated or procubated. I wish I could talk. How they propped up this false narrative of the war on women, when it's clear that over, usually since 200 years, that we could tell from history that everything is pretty much given to women. And then when they finally asked it that they want certain things, we said, sure, you can have it. There was no real fight from men in this area. You want the vote? We pretty much gave it to them for no reason. They don't have any issues. They don't have to go to war to get that. They don't have to sign up anything for it. When they asked for it, we gave it to them. But the narrative is not. It's about anytime you have a question. And this happened yesterday at the Planned Parenthood thing at Congress, talking about it. And of course, it's a Republican that's asking these questions. And you have people, he's asking a question and waiting for the woman who's the head of Planned Parenthood to actually answer it. And he's waiting and asking, well, you apologize for this, and we want to know why you apologize for it. Why would you have to do it if it wasn't, you shouldn't do it? So people were calling in to certain radio shows. The independent person I listened to, Michael Persconish, and he's like, and that's what these women would come in here and say. That's a proof of war, a war on women. So I guess the issue is now that if I say your video sucks, or if I say what you said online is you're a liar, or if I do a response video to you because what you said is wrong, that's cyber terrorism or violence. And if I'm in front of Congress and you're spinning and you're not actually answering the question, now we're going to say that's a war on women, because no matter what we do, if we have any questions that we have to say that they will frame to as women's health care, and then we question how they deliver it, then the next thing is, well, that's a war on women, because you can't ask the question. And I'm like, well, why can't he ask that question? It's taxpayer dollars that fund Planned Parenthood. But this is things that have been going on forever, and there was a time in my life that I followed the narrative. I believed in the quote-unquote pay gap. I thought that women, I guess I thought that they're the ones that were victimized more than men, when we know that it's clearly not true. And we know that the pay gap is not true. And we know that men get killed more than men, or than women, and we kill ourselves 4 times more than they do. But yet we have nothing in the federal government for that. They have 6 or 7 agencies just for themselves. This is an area that somebody, I mean, seriously, if you look at it in a critical way, and you looked at it, somebody that doesn't care about stuff like this, and so that's kind of strange that you would say there's a war on women when everything in federal government is supporting women, and there's really nothing there for men. And we allow them to keep saying it. And now it's getting to the point where, 18 months ago was it? 12 months ago when Emma Watson said what she said to the UN, and she's come out now in the last couple of days saying that she sees sexism in Hollywood because she's worked with 17 male directors and 2 female directors. She believes that's sexism. But then she says some of her male directors are feminists. So now there are people on the other side, other feminists that have come out and are getting at her for saying stuff like that, saying that the women or the men that she works for are better feminists than some of the women or feminists that are women. And that's what feminists does. They will eat their own. If you don't follow the party line, and it's strange when I look at things like this, and I know I'm ranting, but this is what happens with me. I have 2 of my kids they're actors. She's not any more talented than these people are. She came from a privileged background. She probably got her foot in there. She's okay. She's not the most talented, and she's certainly not the most beautiful woman in the world. In fact, she looks more like a boy, to be honest. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, what's her name? Erin, the girl from Inception, Hard Candy, Erin something. Ellen Page, who I like. She's obviously a lot better actor than Emma is. But I don't get it. I don't understand why they can sit there and people report it, put it in blogs, put it on newspapers, put it on video, and just sit there and support this person when the real issues that women are facing are like in the Middle East. It makes no sense. Women are the most privileged demographic in the world ever. They don't have to sign up for the draft. They get enough federal government support than anybody else does. They don't get hurt as much. They don't get killed as much. They don't get raped as much when you include rape in prisons. Now, even if you take that out the way, I would say overall the women probably do get raped more than men, but it's fairly close. And we know what the media does. There, just the other day, and I'll link it down. There was a woman that was charged with having sex with a 15-year-old. Didn't say that he raped her, but if it was turned around, it would say a man was charged with either sexual assault or rape against a 15-year-old. But they don't do that, and the media just. I've said it before in other videos that they treat women like they're retarded kids, and I don't like that word, but they're not mentally challenged, so it's very upsetting to me. It's just funny when I see these people up there, and Clinton does it, and pretty much everybody on the left support it, and we can talk about now they're coming out trying to say the 1 and 4 again, as great as it was to see the president come out there and talking about trigger warnings at school, and that's why you go to school for, to have debate, he still, and his cabinet, is still putting out this false narrative about that there is so much sexual assaults on campuses, which there is no proof of it. And the only reason why they can have it or put that out there is because they've changed the definition of rape. They're talking about if you get groped. Okay, if you're on a train somewhere and somebody actually brushes up against you, and they ask you that question in a certain type of context, and you say, yeah, one time in my life I was groped, and I don't know if it was somebody actually trying to get to me or not, or I just felt it. Oh, that's considered as that sexual assault, and one of the, what areas of it. Over here for sexual assault, where that's rape, and down here, and this is, over here is like talking to a woman now. It's getting to be that way. They already are looked at that way. They are the privileged class. You have to ask them to go out with them. They choose who they have a relationship with, and they're the ones that make the species what it is. They choose the men who they can reproduce with. And I mean, a lot of people have talked about this, and the last thing that came out was this whole masterly, so fragile, and they're just more shaming tactics from the feminists, saying that. And then when we actually respond to that, they're like, see, the boys get all butt hurt, and guys can't have like any complaints against them. And we've been listening to for how many years that we're the cost of everything. Everything in your life is because some man did it to you. And you have that computer and that iPhone that a man made, it just gets old after a while, and it puts me back to where I am now. Who the fuck am I going to support? There's nobody there. I know there's a girl out there that I will follow her, Sister Janger, and I'll put her name down in her description. I think she's a Bernie Sanders person, and although she's a critical thinker, and she believes in reason and stuff, but I could never support him. I can't support anybody who would allow what happened when he was in Seattle, when those militant, feminist, classed, or Black Lives Matter got on the stage. I can't, and I don't believe in socialism. It doesn't work. I believe that the free market is the best thing for it. Like I said, I am a classical liberal. I believe in the individual rights. I believe in limited government. But I really believe that everybody has the right to life, and it's in the Constitution. We could have this discussion, but I'm pro-life. I wasn't that way all along. I've changed my mind over the years. I think there should be, but I can compromise on it. I do believe that 13 weeks is fair enough. But as a country, if that's what it's going to be, then birth control should be free, condoms should be free, and also the tests for birth tests should be free. You'd be able to go anywhere, any pharmacy, and they should be able to give it to you, or it should be like $2 or $3 maybe. Or you should be able to walk into any emergency and say, I want a test, for my pregnancy. It gives that person a lot of time to decide what they want to do. Nobody should have an abortion after 16, 18 weeks. They shouldn't, and there's no reason for it. Whereas our technology, she can find out in 10 minutes. And then she has enough time to figure out how long she's going to do. And if she doesn't want to have the baby, this government should do whatever they can to support her, whatever that is. So that's just me on that. But anyway, that's really that's all the thoughts I had today. I was going to talk about Ahmed, but I think it's clear that this kid knew what he was doing. Now that we know that he was a troublemaker before, and looking online, and I will post it, how easy it is to do what he did. He didn't invent anything, and I think he wanted to get famous, and he got that, and it's clear that the president, again, has just shot himself in the foot about this, and it's unfortunate. He shouldn't have right away said, hey, come to the White House. He should allow people to look at it and see what his this was, but maybe he was behind it. I don't know. But anyway, I will link that as well. And thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.